everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hey, I'm Maggie. Today I'm going to be updating you on my rolling Project 10-ish pan. So at the beginning of the year, I put in about 10 items into this project pan, and I plan to update you guys monthly. I do it about the middle of the month and roll things in as I complete things. It doesn't have to be from the same category. And sometimes I roll in more things than 10. Sometimes I don't quite have exactly 10 that I want to be working on. So that's why I call it 10-ish, to allow for a little bit of flexibility. So I'm super excited. I had a really good month of progress on my products. I have a few empties and things that I've completed my goals on. So I'm excited, and I'll be rolling in some new items. Let's go ahead and start. I'm going to start with the products that have been in the longest. So I still have some items in here that have been in since January, and that's where I'd like to start. So I'm going to start with the lip products that I've put in. So the first one is the Jordana Easy Liner for Lips in Tawny. This is a really beautiful lip liner, and I have like nothing there. I mean, it's still enough, but it's getting really down there. So the sheet that I use to track it is right here. So I have just a little bit left here. You can see the progress that I've been making, and I feel like it's pretty consistent. So with the markings, I think I can have it done in the next month. I keep saying that though, so we'll see, but I really think at this time. But this is nice. I use it pretty much as the base to any lip gloss or lipstick or anything that I want to wear. I don't really reapply it throughout the day, so that's why, it's just I use it once a day type of thing, and I think that's why it goes a little bit slower than lipsticks for me, but I still really like it, and I'm happy to be getting use out of it. The other lip product I had in is a lipstick, and this is from Ulta, house brand. And this is a cream formula lipstick in the shade Nude. They don't make this exact one anymore, with this gold packaging and everything, but they do have other lipsticks available, so I'm sure that you could find something similar. But I was able to finish this off, so it's just up to that plastic bit, that holds the actual bullet of the lipstick. So I'm super excited that this is done. I worked really hard on it, and it wasn't until, I just sat down to film that I saw where I was. So for the Ulta lipstick, I was here, and I've used all of that up, which I'm pretty impressed with myself, but I really focused on this as the only lipstick I was going to use. I reapplied it, I wouldn't say constantly, but throughout the day. I'd have it on my desk when I'm working. Right before a Zoom meeting, I'd put a little bit on, or after lunch. So yeah, I worked really hard on this one. I'm so excited that it's done. One last lip product, and this one is getting old too, so it's always nice to have something just used up before it expires or really turns on you. So really pleased with that. Another item that has been in since January is the Cover FX Power Play Foundation. This is my winter shade. It is N10, and I feel like I'm really close to being done with this. I have it upside down because it's in a squeezy tube type bottle. So it's really starting to sputter now. So I think, I'm just gonna keep going until I can't really get anything else out of here. I've tried to shine my flashlight in here, and it's really difficult to tell because it looks like some of the product has coated the walls, but I know I'm not as high as where that shows. So hopefully, if I just leave it like this for a few days, I can check again. But I'm getting really close on this one because it's really starting to sputter when I try to squeeze any product out. So I'm hoping that this will be done by my next update, because then we'll be moving more into the warmer months, and I'll be getting a little bit more color on my skin just from being outside, and this won't be the right match. So I would really like to get this one finished up if I can. Okay, another item from my original intro, which I'm going to have all these linked, is my highlighter stick. So this is from Milk Makeup. It's the mini holographic stick, and my goal was to use this 30 times, and I finally got to that 30 mark. So at my last update, I had used it 16 times in total, and I finished that last 14 in this month. I do really like this. I'm really glad that I pulled this in to use it and get more, practice with it, and using it as a cream highlight gave me a little bit of, variety in my routine. I didn't have to use a powder highlight if I didn't want to, and this was really fun. I definitely will reach for this, periodically, because now I really like it. but I don't want to be reaching for it every day like I have been this month, because I was really trying to finish it up, that 30 use goal. So really enjoyed it. Not quite burnt out of it, but just want to take it a little bit easy. So this is rolling out. And then the last item I have in from January still is an eyeshadow, and I am picking eyeshadows out of my sultry palette this year. Not that I am like trying to pan the whole palette, but just kind of getting more use out of it. So the shadow that I have in here with the goal of finishing up is the shade Pearl. And Pearl is this one right here. So you can see that I really expanded the pan. I will try to put up like a side-by-side of this, but I'm really pleased with how Pearl is progressing. I use this in my inner corner typically, and then this past month I've been using it on my lid a little bit more too. So that's been helping me wear down, you know, the sides and expand the pan a little bit more. I do think I'm going to try to focus a little bit more in this corner in the upcoming months, just to try to like kind of clear out that corner, and then I can do the other corner. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. It's a nice shade. I really like it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just want to, you know, finish up an eyeshadow, and that's the one that I figured I could use pretty much with any eye look, because the inner corner highlight doesn't really interfere with the actual lid or the crease shades that much. So that's why I picked this one. Okay, so let's talk about the products that I had in since February now. So I have another eyeshadow from this palette, actually two. So in February I put in Cinder, which is down here, and I was able to hit pan on Cinder since my last update. I hope you can tell Cinder, the pan is like kind of close to the same color. But this is really pretty. I use this on my outer third of my lid. I also liked it just kind of like with my finger all over the lid, kind of like a 1 or 2 shadow look. I really don't do 1 shadow looks, usually 2 shadow looks, but I liked it that way too. I feel like this color looks nice with blue eyes, so it was fun to kind of pair it around different ways. The other shadow I put in here in February I'm still working on, and that is Dystopian, which is this dark brown. So you can see that I'm definitely targeting one spot in here. I'm using this as my eyeliner. I do have that on my eyes today, but it is definitely, I mean, I can tell that I'm making progress because I'm having to dig and dig and dig, and I can tell that it's going deeper, but we just quite haven't hit pan yet, which is fine. I just like having a dedicated shade somewhere in my palettes to be my liner shade. I don't use eyeliner anymore. I just use a flat liner brush. I spray it with my setting spray, and then I pick up the product and draw it on. So I really have been liking that, and it's been nice to kind of jump around. In here you can tell that I did that before on Noir because there's pan there, so I'm hoping to do that on Dystopian as well. So those two were from February. I hit my goal on Cinder, and I'm still working on Dystopian. And then in my last update, I rolled in a few new items. So let's start talking about those. The first one I want to talk about is from my Anastasia Soft Glam 2 palette. And I am working on, just like I'm working on hitting pan in different liner shades, I'm also working on hitting pan in kind of like a creamy type shade that I can use to set my eyeshadow primer. So I rolled this one in, and I was working on Tempera, which is right here. So I did hit a little bit of pan in there. Hopefully you can see it shining through there. It's just a little speck, but it counts. It counts. And this one only took me, let's see here. At my last update, I had used it 8 times, and I didn't have pan yet. It only took me 4 more times to actually hit pan, so 12 in total. And I didn't really want to expand it a ton after that. This is a really, really awesome travel palette. And that's something that I kind of want to preserve a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to not use this palette, but I would like to kind of preserve this one a little bit more so that it's there when I do travel and I don't have to bring like another single with me or something. But I'm happy to have hit pan on that one. Like I said, it only took me 4 times after my last update, so it was pretty quick, and I had a feeling that was what was going to happen. So I rolled in a second kind of cream eyeshadow, and this one is from my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette, but I popped it out because the Bare Necessities or any ColourPop ones with the round pans are magnetic. and then I just put a sticker on the back so I know what it is. But I rolled this in to be the cream shade that I would use after the tempera one, and I was able to hit pan actually yesterday, which is so exciting. So this is the shadow, and yeah, decent amount of pan in there. I did use it one more time today to expand that pan a little bit more, but I am happy to have another pan showing in my eyeshadows. It's so exciting. So I'm going to be rolling that one out as well. We hit 2 eyeshadow cream shades, and then also that cinder shade in the sultry palette, which is a lot of eyeshadow pan in a month, if I must say. Okay, also last month I rolled in my liquid lipstick from Bare Minerals. So this is in the shade Boss, and my goal was to use it 15 times. I was able to use it 9 times since my, rolling it in last month. So I have 6 more uses I need to I need to use it 6 more times. I didn't know where I was going with that, to roll this out. And I really like this. This is a nice lip product. I can give you a swatch. It's just getting a little bit older in my collection, so I want to make sure I'm using it. I probably will have to say goodbye to it at some point this year, at the end of the year, but it's just a nice kind of My Lips But Better. It's a little bit on the deeper side, but it's very comfortable. If you're looking for a liquid lip formula, I really like this Bare Minerals formula because it's more of like a mousse, and it doesn't really dry down to being like hard on your lips or super drying. So I really like this. I would definitely look into purchasing maybe this shade again or a different one, but I really like the formula. So this is staying in. I still have 6 more uses. And then last time I also rolled in my blush. So this is the Hourglass Mood Exposure Blush. I did have significant pan on this, and so my goal is to finish it up, and I was able to do that. So there's, just the teeniest amount in the corners that I just can't get. But I'm really proud of that, and I'm so excited that I was able to finish up a blush this year. Again, it's a mini size, but it took me all last year to hit pan, and then the first half of this year to actually finish it up. So I think that is a good life cycle. I am kind of more drawn to smaller size pans of blushes and highlights, just because the larger pans take so dang long to get through that I worry about not being able to actually get through them in a timely manner, So this is nice to have a mini one that I know I can get through in, 2-3 years. A year and a half if you're super focused, but more like 2 or 3 if you're not using it every single day. But yeah, that's super exciting, and probably the biggest achievement of this project pan so far. So very happy there. Okay, so now it's time for us to roll in some new items, and I have 5 spots to roll in items. So just really quick to give you a reminder of what is staying in, because there's a lot happening. My lip liner is staying in, my foundation is staying in. The 2 shades in the sultry palette, Pearl and Dystopian. So Pearl and Dystopian are staying in. And then also my Bare Minerals liquid lipstick is staying in. Everything else has rolled out. So we have 5 new slots, and I am going to be putting in 5 new items. I did kind of muster through and find 5 that I wanted to work on. So let me go ahead and share with you what they are. So I'm going to start with the eyeshadow that's going to replace that Tempera and the Crystal Cove. So now the one that I'm going to use as my primer setting shade is coming from my e.l.f. Bite Size Quad. This is new to me, actually. It's in the cream and sugar variety, and this matte shade right here, it's a little bit darker than other shades, but I know it'll work just fine. So my goal is going to be to hit pan. I can't imagine that these are super deep, but we'll see what happens. I'm not really sure. I am just gonna roll this one in and see how it goes. I don't wanna roll in 2 and only touch the one and be weird, but if I do end up hitting pan before my next update, I'm just gonna pick another one and roll right into that without wasting time. So we'll see if I hit pan in this month or not. I'm not really sure, but that's gonna be the focus shadow that I'm working on for that purpose of setting my primer and being my brow bone highlight. I am also going to roll in one more shade from my sultry palette. Like I said, I just kind of want to have focus shades in here. And since I hit pan on Cinder, I would like to move into Teak. And you can probably tell that I have been focusing on Teak a little bit already, because there is some, a little mini dip in there. And I'm trying to use it the same way on the outer third of my lid, across my lid, and just kind of seeing where it goes. But it's nice to have kind of a go-to shade like this because I got really used to using Cinder. And this is pretty similar. I mean, teak is not that far off from Cinder, but here's a swatch of it if you are curious. It's just a nice kind of like bronzy metallic shade. So I'm super excited to roll that one in. Okay, so no more eyeshadows. The other products are not eyeshadows, but I am going to roll in another lip product. So I have the liquid lipstick that I used to use 6 times, and then I want to roll in another lipstick. So the one that I chose this time is also from Ulta, like the house brand, the Ulta Beauty Velvet Matte Lip Crayon. This is the shade Terrestrial. So it's more of like a crayon type thing, kind of a joint between a lip liner and a lipstick, and that is how much I have. My goal for this is going to be to use it 25 times. So I'm not trying to finish it necessarily, but I would like to use it 25 times. So it probably will be in the project for 2 to 3 months. I'm not sure if I'll use it every day or not, but this one is a little bit more, I guess, kind of orangey than the Bare Minerals one. So that's the Bare Minerals, and this is this Terrestrial, but still like a My Lips But Better type thing, which is the type of lipstick I'm most drawn towards, obviously. So I just thought it'd be nice to have another lipstick to kind of, rotate through. I did make a marking on my piece of paper here of where we are, because I thought it would be interesting to see how far down on my sheet I can get in 30 uses. So my goal is not to, finish it all the way up, but I just want to see what does 30 uses visually look like, because I know what it looks like, to finish lipsticks, but I'm not always sure what it looks like to just use it a handful of times. So that is going to be rolling in, and I think it should be easy enough to use. I am going to count like a reapplication. If I already have it on, I eat lunch and then I reapply it. That would be 2 for the day, like my initial application and the, when I put it back on after lunch. I'm getting twisted over my words. So that's going to be interesting to see, either I'm going to use it like once a day or, once a week or so, and then it's going to take a while, or I'm just going to like blow through it. I don't know. We'll have to see. And then I've got 2 powder products I want to roll in. So the first one is a bronzer. So I have this little Physicians Formula palette, and I'd like to hit pan on the butter bronzer in here. And I just lost my highlight. I actually repressed it. It crumbled and I repressed it and it just fell out again. And I don't know if it's worth saving anymore, Like I don't want to keep dealing with this repressing. We'll see. I'm going to leave that mess there and we'll decide later. So yeah, that's empty now. But this is the bronzer I would like to hit pan on. I really like this for kind of like the spring and summertime. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. The color is very similar to another bronzer I have from e.l.f. It's the Primer Infused Bronzer. But this one, which is right here, has just a little bit of sheen to it, which I think looks really nice in the spring and summertime. Very natural, very kind of like sun-kissed. So I thought that would be a good time to pull it out. So my goal is to hit pan, and then we'll see how I feel if I want to move on to another bronzer or if I want to try to finish it up. I'm not really sure yet. So my initial goal is to hit pan, and then we'll take it from there. And then the last item I have in here is another blush, and I'm not going to try to finish this one up because this is a new blush to me. I got this in January, I believe. But this is the ColourPop Fresh and Peachy blush, and I want to use this 30 times. So I just want to see, what it's like to use this blush a little bit more consistently. I've used it here and there. It's a really pretty peach shade, but I think having been in the project panning community for a while, the idea of use goals wasn't always there. It was either you're going to hit pan or you're going to finish it. But the swatch is right there. I've really been enjoying adding products in with a use goal because it lets me still bounce around my collection, and that's kind of one of the critiques I have with project panning, and why, a while ago I kind of took a step back from it, is it's so hard when you have this mindset of like either use it or you don't and all of that. There's a lot of pressure there. But if it's, use it 30 times, okay, and then I can pick something else. So my idea is to use this blush 30 times and then maybe pick a different blush or maybe a highlight or something to roll in, because I'd like to use my face products, like my colored face products, a little bit more this year. But I also like to rotate through them. So I think that'll work out really well. I'm excited to see how that works out. And you know, the peach isn't going to go with every eye look and everything I want to do. So I do have other blushes I'll be bouncing between. But yeah, the peach is really fresh and bright for springtime. So I think it should be nice. So that is going to be it for my project tan update. I am so excited to move into the next month with these items. And yeah, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss my next update. It'll be around the 15th of May, whatever my schedule works out being, but I try to shoot for around the 15th. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching and taking some time out of your day to hang out. I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.